Hello. I think we're live now. Yep, according to YouTube, I believe we're live. Welcome. No one, because no one's in here yet, but I guess this is my first ever time going live on the internet, I think. At least in a public forum. So we'll see if anyone joins us. This could be the shortest or a very short live stream. I'll hang out probably for, I don't know, 5, maybe even 10 minutes. And if no one joins to chat, then I'll just call it. Yeah, we'll see how we go. And if not, then people can watch me awkwardly talking to myself for 5 minutes later on. Yeah, we've got someone. Hey, Joseph. We're doing well today. Day's been good. Thanks for coming in. The weather is actually not so good here today. I'm in New South Wales in Australia, and in lockdown at the moment. But it's actually a bit of a dreary day outside. Not raining, but a little bit cold, about 14 degrees. Anyway, what are you up to today? Where are you watching from? And what's the weather like where you are? Yeah, over in Portland. I imagine it'd be still hot. It's like in the middle of summer for you guys over there. Yeah, so I believe it's so over here in Australia it is Sunday morning, and I know that the time zones are a little bit weird, but where it's 10:30 a.m. on a Sunday. So if you're in Portland, I believe, are they still snowboarding up at Mount Hood? That's not too far from you, isn't it? And Joseph says, yeah, we're going to be in lockdown here soon again in the United States. Yeah, lockdown, it's been a lockdown in Sydney for maybe almost 2 months now, but where I am is a little bit north of Sydney, and we've just had a lockdown from Thursday this week. Yeah, yeah. No, I saw some recent videos from up there at Timberline, and the snow looked pretty dirty and pretty wild. I think the melt up there would be pretty bad, and I hear that it's been a pretty hot summer over there. So it's winter here, and unfortunately, I have not been able to. Instead of being stuck at home in my house, I was going to be going to Perisher to go snowboarding this week. In fact, we would have been driving down there now, had like literally in the car. What time is it? Yeah, we would be halfway down to the snow right now. But on Thursday, I believe it was at 11 a.m. They said from 5 p.m. it's lockdown, and that's it. We couldn't go. We had to cancel our trip. I gave some serious thought to like just completely just leaving and going, like packing my car, packing my snowboard, and just like going before the 5 p.m. lockdown. But I had some stuff I had to take care of and I couldn't do it. So, all right, looks like we've got a couple of other people joining us. Adam Searles. Adam Searles, my Canadian friend, the thumbnail master. I'm going to need to get your thoughts on the thumbnail for the live stream that I've done right now, because I know you're the master at the thumbnails, and I spent way too much time creating this thumbnail. Yeah. Are you in lockdown too, Adam? I had no idea. I know that in Canada you guys have had some pretty critical lockdowns. And we've got Kerry Pierce in here. Hey, Kerry. Oh no, Cairns is joining the lockdown club. So Cairns is north, quite a ways north. I'm in New South Wales, and Cairns is like in Queensland, which is one of Australia's most northern states, and Kerry lives in one of the more northern parts of that state. Lots of crocodiles and stingrays and stuff up there. Adam has just finished moving his mum into her new apartment. Yeah, that is tiring. I've had to move like house twice in my life. And actually, no, 3 times. I moved from my parents' house to a place with a friend of mine, and then a few years, no, 4 times. I don't know. Then I moved so that's 1, and then 2, I moved in with some friends about 2 suburbs over. And then after, I stayed in that place for like 10 years, and then I moved into the house that I'm in now that I bought, and that was anyway. I don't want to ever have to move my stuff again. I'm the worst like hoarder of stuff. I literally had to buy a bigger house to fit all of my stuff into. So let's see what else is going on in the comments here. Joseph Erickson says that it's summertime over there. So Joseph's in Portland, Oregon. It's August, hottest month of the year. That's funny because here in Australia, it's like the polar opposite. August is like the coldest month of the year, and it's also like the best, when the best snow happens, and when they typically get snowfalls, and it's supposed to be like absolutely dumping this weekend, and we're like, no, we're going to be down there. Oh well. Adam says, hi, Kerry. Yes, I agree. Hi, Kerry. And Adam says, great to see me. Yeah, I've been putting off doing this live stream for so long. My mate, Elliot from El Stacker Adventures has just been onto me, and Adam Bad Riders, I need to call out to him because he is not here, and he has been on the bandwagon too to say, Chuck, you need to go live. And I put it off for like such a long time, and I'm now here and doing it. So I thought, you know what, we're in lockdown, I've got the day off work, so I may as well just like hang out with my friends from the internet and see if there are some people who want to join me. And I know it's like, for the Americans, it's like Saturday night or Saturday evening, or well, North Americans, I should say, because Adam, you're in Canada, and I don't know what time it is there, but I feel like it's evening or late afternoon. Yeah, let's see what else is going on here in the comments. Adam says he loves the thumbnail. Thanks, man. That means the world to me. It really does. I showed Swanee the thumbnail last night, and he seemed pretty hyped on it. And like I said, I spent way too much time doing it, but it was fun, nonetheless. So now I've got a couple of people in here. I'll ask to. I'm totally new to live streaming, and the setup that I've got is totally brand new. So obviously you guys can hear me, but let me know how the quality is, if you can see the video and hear me clearly. That would be very helpful to see if I need to adjust anything. Swanee Brews is in here. Swanee says, yo, which is really good because Swanee actually lives in the same house that I'm in, and we're both locked down together. So he's beaming into this live stream from around about 10 to 15 meters away. So thank you, Swanee. Adam says that we're out of lockdown and almost 90% of the province is vaccinated. So everything's pretty much open in Canada. That's awesome. We need to be in Canada right now because it's kind of the opposite here. We've had just a huge outbreak. At the moment, we've got like 3 major cities and a whole bunch of regional areas in snap lockdowns. I don't like to get too political, but there's a lot of toing and froing and arguments between the governments over here as the local, like state governments, as to when lockdowns should have happened and what kind of restrictions they should have put in place to better control the outbreak. But we've got Sydney in lockdown. We've got Melbourne in lockdown. We've got up here in the Hunter Valley up in lockdown. I believe there's some other regional areas like Armidale in lockdown. Kerry says that Cairns is going in. Brisbane is in lockdown. It's everywhere. So we're just hoping that we can kind of get through this thing so that Chuck can go snowboarding to start with. But we had so many awesome plans that we were going to do. And unfortunately, COVID kind of it's put a bit of a spanner in the works there. There was plenty of meetups. Like we've got a few DWCP crew people in here. Shout out to the DWCP, by the way. Because it's an awesome bunch of people. So let's get back to the comments. Adam says, I'm pretty sure our borders open up next week to Americans. That's pretty cool. And in a month for the rest of the world, as long as you double vaxxed. Yeah. So our vaccination schedule is not going as quickly. So that's the big call out from the governments at the moment is get vaccinated. But availability of vaccines and stuff has been an issue here. So the rollout's kind of happening a bit slower than I guess what we anticipated. But anyway, we'll see. I'm going to look into getting my vaccination as soon as I can. So when international borders do open, then I would love to make some trips. So that's what we're going to do. Adam says, sup, Swanee. Swanee Brews says hi to Adam. Canada's doing well. Australia's very far behind, which is what I was just saying. Thanks, Swanee. Cheers for your comments on the thumbnail. I'm not sure. So Adam says that we're not sure they're going to start sending our vaccines your way. I know you guys are behind, but we're in the same boat. Then all of a sudden, we've had so much supply. Yeah, well, I guess that's what happens. Everyone gets vaccinated, and you've got a stockpile, and other countries need it, so they can like ship it around, which is really good. So hopefully, and I know that here in Australia, they're not going to be getting back. We're not going to be getting back to any kind of normalcy at the moment. You've got to wear a mask everywhere. If you even if it's not lockdown, like you've got to check into places like so that the government can or the health people can track your where you've been and contact tracing to if the virus has been spread. So we've got QR codes that every business has to display, and people need to like zap and check their information in before they go in. But here in the lockdown areas, it's only like supermarkets, grocery stores, and just like what is considered essential services that's open. Hopefully the lockdown ends soon. And I think we need to get to like a 70 or 80% of the population vaccinated before they even start thinking about things like letting like overseas travel and letting people into the country. So we'll see how that goes. All right. quite enough COVID talk. Thanks, Swanee. The sound quality being good. Thumbnails top notch. Swanee says he's on the veranda. I don't think you're on the veranda anymore. I'm a bit slow in reading the comments. Yeah, Kerry, I'm so sad that we're missing the snow too. Like we were, like when your trip was going to be soon, I think. Was it going to be like next week, maybe? Next weekend, I'm thinking? I don't know. But yeah, we were actually going to be there at the same time, and I think it was going to be towards the end of our trip, because Swanee and I were going, like, we were going to be traveling down there today and be there for, I think, 8 days or something like that. And I believe that you guys were going to be arriving maybe next weekend. So we're going to have the chance to meet up with you and show you some of the cool runs at Perisher. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened for any of us. So Kerry's been missing the snow for a whole year. I know. It's a shame. You guys, if you've been snowboarding, I think the last time you guys were snowboarding was in Huckabah, was it? 2020? I think. And Swanee says that he's moved back into his room. Good to see you, mate. We live in the same house, but we're often like ships passing in the night. Oh, so yeah, we're pretty sad that we had to cancel our Perisher trip. We were going to stay in our friend's Airbnb, and which she was stoked about because it means that she would have been able to get some money, and our friend Kaz Lee, we stayed in her apartment in Jindabyne the last time we went, and I'm gonna say top notch, everything that you need for a stay. But yeah, all basically like in the New South Wales snowfields like Thredbo, Perisher, those resorts, like 80%, I want to say, of the people that that visit those resorts are tourists from Sydney, and obviously there's locals and people that travel from regional areas too. But when you've got the borders shut, when you've got Sydney not able to go, and now you've got so we were able to travel before this lockdown, and now we can't. But that means that there's hardly anyone down on the hill, and there's so much snow down there. Oh, it just makes me antsy feeling about it, just thinking about it. But Adam says, super stoked for Kevin, Narav, and Yannick in Switzerland. Can't wait for some videos. You are not the only one, my friend. And I expect that, not that I've got any inside information, but I expect that we will see a video from Kevin soon. I'm claiming within the next 24 hours. Like, they've been up there. I know they've had at least 1, maybe 2 days of riding. And there's been, I think I've seen some Instagram stories and stuff from Kevin. And I know Kevin's pretty fast on the edit, a lot faster than I am. Although, when you've pumped out as many videos as what Snowboard Pro Camp has, then you'd expect that. But yeah, I reckon we're going to see a video pretty soon. And hopefully we'll see a bit of the boys, Narav and Yannick. I've been sending them messages, giving them a bit of flack about like their legs, and cause they haven't been snowboarding in like 9 months. I'm like, hey boys, get yourself in an ice bath. But yeah, the vids are going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. I know Kevin will have his GoPro Max there, and we'll probably see some really cool 360 camera footage. So it's going to be good. Actually, and I saw, has anyone seen Kevin's or Snowboard Pro Camp's Instagram story today? if you haven't already, you might want to go have a look at it. Looks like the boys, the twins, Nirav and Yannick, one of them, have cooked up this this little animation for the SPC World Tour, and it's on the story. It looks amazing. So they're just magicians, those boys. Really good with graphic design and stuff like that. Inside information, if you know Andreas Schubert, the intro for his channel where his face appears and his name comes in from the side, and then there's that like bird call noise that he makes. That was Yannick, I think, that did that one. Might have been Nirav, I don't know, but it's one of them that did that animation. Kerry's saying, yeah, Huckabah was when it all started. Yeah, I think you were in Huckabah at the same time that we were in Niseko with all of the YouTubers. Yeah, and I think you guys were still there, maybe even when we left. I think it was late February when we came home, and I remember that, pardon me, we got home, and I believe the border or the international borders closed like within days of us getting home from that trip. So that was a pretty heavy time to be overseas. It was really weird, actually, because I remember Adam, not Adam that's in here, Adam from Melbourne, Adam Bad Riders. He sent me a message. We were on our way to Japan on that 2020 trip, and he said, hey, just all of my internet friends traveling internationally at the moment, just be careful, there's this nasty virus going around. And I remember thinking at the time when I read the message, going, virus. I've had the cold before, I've had the flu, should be right, don't worry about it. And now here we are, like over a year later, or way over a year later, is it? Almost a year and a half, nearly 2 years later. And the world has changed. Who knows if it's ever going to be the same again. But I guess the main thing is that we're all safe. Swanee Bruce says, I think after all the COVID stuff is done and we're all vaxxed, there needs to be a whole DWCP snow trip somewhere. I tend to agree absolutely that there has to be that. That's absolutely 100% going to go down. It has to. There was going to be a mini one happen, and that's the unfortunately I believe it was in September we were having, and we had planned and still do have planned a trip to Perisher, and we were going to like meet up with a couple of people. There was going to be Rob Fowler, I think, from Queensland, of our DWCP crew. Also, Adam Bad Riders, whom we were going to like meet up with in Falls Creek earlier, and that earlier this year, and that trip got canned too because of the COVID situation. We weren't in lockdown, but the border between New South Wales and Victoria closed, and Victoria, just over the border into Victoria, is where Falls Creek is. And Adam, myself, Swanee, and the man himself, Phil Vlogs, we were all meeting up, and we were going to go like ride there for a week, and it never happened because of the border closures. So we had to change our plans, and myself, Swanee, and Phil still like used the same week to go snowboarding and went to Perisher, and that was from that trip was where the last video on this channel came from. It dumped. We had a couple of days of just puking storm days, and that was probably my first actually real power day at Perisher that I had on that trip. It was amazing. Like you couldn't see anything, and you'd be flying down the hill, you'd make a turn and just go straight into a side bank and be in the snow, and you haven't seen it still. I still haven't seen half of the crashes that I had on that trip. It was so much fun. But we coming back to the DWCP trip. Definitely has to happen. Definitely will. And I think an international iteration of it will happen. It's just a matter of when and where that's going to happen. I feel like Japan is an obvious place, or probably the one of the easier places for that to happen, depending on what time of the year we do it. If it happens like in kind of early in the year, like January, February, then it's got to be Japan, surely. But if it so happens that we can get it to happen, we can get enough people who want to travel, I think another good option would be New Zealand, actually, a place to get the DWCP together. So I know I've heard a couple of members chatter about wanting to come to the Southern Hemisphere, so that could be a potential way of doing it too. I've also always wanted to kind of go to North America. I've been there before, but not to snowboard. So, obviously well, not obviously, but I've got some big bucket list kind of plans. Resort places I want to go, resorts I want to be at. And actually, Adam, spending like a week or two at Whistler would be on the list, 100%. Which I think there's a comment up there. Let's go back to the comments here. Yep, Adam Searles agrees. But where will we go, Adam? I know Adam's going to say Whistler. I haven't even read the comment yet, but I know it's going to happen. Do the bird call. Whistler. How close is that to Andreas's one? That's what Adam would be able to tell that, because he's actually ridden with Andreas while it's actually, so have I, while it's happened. So Whistler would be fun, but Adam says he wants to travel, so be open to an epic Japan. Yeah, I do honestly think that Japan is going to be the best place to meet, because it's kind of central, I guess. Not really. There's nowhere in the world that's central, because like we're all spread all over the world. But if we have to go to Japan, then like everyone has to travel. And Japan is just such an amazing country. Like the culture is just so different. They're such nice people. There's the food is amazing. It's the snow is the best on the planet. I don't think many people need much convincing. The question's going to be where in Japan we go, and that'll depend on when we go, and a few other factors. So I know on El Stacker's live stream yesterday, he mentioned, although I watched like 4 or 5 of El Stacker's previous live streams yesterday, so there was one in the last few weeks where he said, the homies are planning a trip to Japan, and there has been talk of it. And when he says the homies, he's mainly talking about myself and Jose Bautista, because we're the ones that organised that last Japan trip. But we'll see what happens. So I reckon most likely it will be in Japan. Most likely it'll either be Niseko or a place we haven't been before. I personally want to go back to Niseko, but if there's an opportunity to meet up with the likes of Kevin and TJ and Chris and all that again, then I don't think we'll be able to pass that up. And I'm fairly certain that they're not going to go back to Niseko for a third time in a row. Kevin's even said that they want to explore somewhere else. So we'll and I have a little bit of inside mail, not really. I haven't spoken directly to them, but I feel like there's a place that they have in mind that I also would like to go to as well. But we'll see what happens. We're still a long way away from being able to do that. And to be honest, I don't think it's even going to be this next, in January, February of 2022. I think that's too soon. I think we're looking at the year after. I hate to say it, because I don't think that international travel to Japan, hoping, but you never know. Yeah, I agree. Whistler would be amazing. I've never been. I hear about how the place is just so big. Um, I'm really keen to get there. To be honest, I think it's gonna be. I think going to Whistler though, because it's one of like it's like the Vale Resort, like or one of their big money makers. I think it's any trip to Whistler is not going to be cheap. So any international snowboarding trip in general is not going to be cheap. So we'll see. Where are we up to in the comments? So now I know how people lose the comments, and there's only been like 3 comments. Whistler with the yeah, Swanee's happy to go back to Japan, and it's probably a good location as travel time for everyone would be the same. Well, it's not really. It's actually Japan is excellent if you're traveling from Australia because it's actually a pretty mellow flight. So I think what is it, 3 or 4 hours? It's more than that, maybe 5 hours. I don't know. I can't remember, but it's way closer for us than what it is from North America. That's for sure. Seeing the videos, I really want to do Japan. Yeah, yeah. The videos don't even really do it justice, Adam. The I don't know. I know it's like a classic thing, like that people say, like, oh, you've got to be there. But you really do have to have been there to really get a proper sense. And it's quite interesting. During that trip, we got it was really interesting to see because we were at the same mountain at the same time as the videos were being made, and at some points even present in the moment of where things were being filmed by the YouTubers, and then we'd see the finished video like a day or so later, it's you get kind of a different sense. It's a different experience actually being there, but the snow is just so light and fluffy. The mountain itself, like Niseko, is really convenient, like because of its 4 resorts on one mountain essentially, and it's not like a crazy steep place. I think actually some areas of the Australian resorts are way more challenging in terms of terrain, but the trees, oh my god, the trees are amazing, and the bamboo. The trees are actually very similar kinds of trees to what we have here in Australia, whereas over in North America it's all just pine trees, and tree wells are a huge issue there, whereas like the trees here are all gum trees, and they're all like, you know, really, and paper bark and stuff like that. It's really easy to kind of like just ride in between them, whereas it's not as safe to do that sometimes with pine trees, but similar trees. And then there's these bamboo shoots everywhere in Japan. It's crazy. So Adam says he's got a big Whistler trip planned this winter. Oh, yeah. Tell me, how could it be bigger than the last one? You say big, my man, but I don't know, that last year, like, no, not even last year. It was this year. You were there like for, what was it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? I don't know. I saw so many videos. You made a movie, dude. That movie was sick, by the way. I loved it. With all the titles and everything that came up. I remember me and Swanee were in actually the room that I'm in right now, watching it on the big TV when it came out. We loved it. But yeah, I want to know, what's he got planned? And you know what? He'll keep his cards close to his chest. I know he's not going to say anything. And I know that when it happens, we're going to see at least 50 trailers before we see any actual videos. Which I guess is a good thing. It's better than me. I don't do trailers. 2023, Japan. Yep. I think that's going to be it in January. And I'm claiming it's not going to be Hakuba. I'm claiming that it's not going to be It's probably, well, I'm not claiming. I'm saying that it may probably not be Hakuba, and it may probably not be Niseko, but we'll see. Adam says the Japan snow looks so much different. Yeah. Everyone talks about it. It'd be fun seeing it firsthand. It's like it's still snow, but it's not. It's so light. That's the difference. It's light and it's dry, and when you fall in, and it's deep. Like there's this one day. It was our second day on the hill, and and it was actually there's so many crazy, like, well, not crazy, but you guys know some of the stories, but and actually there's a moment in my next video that I'm working on right now where actually it won't be my second next video, where me and Swanee are talking about, and Swanee puts me on roast for not dropping any more videos from that trip. Anyway, I'm not going to spoil the video, but those videos will come out eventually. But we went out there. It was our second day, and it was so deep. Like, I'm here in Australia, like when it's a power day, it's kind of really wet, heavy power, and it's never more than, like a few centimeters, and we love that. But when you're there and it's the groomed runs, which they don't bother grooming because they can't. The snowcats are buried. Half the chairlifts are buried. They need to dig them out every morning. And you're going down what is usually a groomed run, and you've got bottomless turns. Bottomless, like it's more than a meter of snow. And you fall over and it takes you 10 minutes to dig yourself back out. That's the kind of snow that we're talking about. It's crazy. So I get so excited about talking about it. It was so much fun. You definitely need a power board when you go there. Have you got a power board, Adam? I feel like I saw that you bought a board recently. I can't remember what it was. Swanee says it's 10 hours from Cairns. What? I don't remember it being 10 hours. But you're probably right. It would have been even longer for me because I got lost on that. I didn't get lost. I got left behind, and there's context to that story too from a video that has been released that isn't quite on the video about the reason why I got left behind. In any case, and it was because a certain bunch of twins were too busy arguing, and we got late to the check-in counter, which was one of the reasons. Anyway, moving on from that, and then not the twins that you're thinking of, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, 10 hours, because I ended up going from Brisbane, so it would have been even longer for me. So Adam says that his last trip was 20 days and this trip will be big. Does he mean big as in like longer? That's crazy. I don't know what you do for work, but your boss must be like, dude, how can you be having such long holidays? I guess you just take them all in one chunk. Or maybe you work for yourself and holidays aren't a thing. Or, it doesn't matter. You can take them whenever you like. That's kind of how I operate. The Wonder Years Volume 5 was fun to make. Well, it was fun to watch. It really was. Kerry is in Mariba. And the damn internet keeps dropping out. That's all right, Kerry. That's okay. I'm glad to see that you've come back. So we appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. I literally thought that this live stream was going to be just me sitting here trying to talk to myself for like 4 or 5 minutes and then getting jack of it. But you guys have kept me talking for almost 40 minutes, and in classic YouTuber style, I'll probably, if there's still stuff to talk about, I'll keep going until like the hour mark-ish. and then we'll call the live stream at that. At the moment, we've got it says we've got 2 people watching, and there's 2 likes on the video, so I guess that's a good ratio. But Mariba, what are you doing in Mariba? Is that where you live? Mariba's like west. It's a fair way west of Cairns, is it not? I know that from my old corporate days. There was a company I used to work for had a store out that way, and I ended up getting a store manager from there that was problematic. But anyway, that's Chuck's past life. We won't talk about that too much. Adam says the orca, or he says orca, because I know he loves his orca. That was in response to my comment that you need a power board. Kevin took orcas as his powder board to Japan, I think 2 years, or at least 1 year running. Although he was riding his park board, I think it was a GNU something or other, that blue and red one, I can't remember the name of it now, because there was some issue with the orca that he had to, a production issue, and he had to return it to Libtech because of that. But yeah, I've still not ridden a Libtech orca, the T-Rice board. There's a lot of hype around it, and I feel like just because everyone loves it so much is a reason that I don't want to. Well, it's not that I don't want to try it, but I kind of don't like being a bandwagon person. So if I get the opportunity to ride one, I will. And I know Adam has one, which I probably would have ridden had we been able to meet up in Falls Creek back in July. So we'll see. Or was that June? I don't know. I get confused about dates. All right. Swanee Brews says, see Chuck Japan trip episode 2. Yeah. That's the one where I got left behind. Actually, I need to probably go back and watch it because I clearly don't know how long it takes to get to Japan and what happens. So one regret from that video, which Swanee pointed out to me, was that I probably could have done a better job on the map situation. But anyway, this is what, when we edit videos and we make videos, then you want to learn something new each time, and the videos get better as you make more of them. So that's what I'm all about. Swanee says, cannonball the like button. Where is Elliot? We need him in here. I'm surprised that there's no El Stacker in the chat. But I guess it is like Saturday night, Saturday afternoon. Actually, where's my? I think I've got my. In Boise, Idaho, it is 7:15 in the evening. So he may be having dinner. He may be having beers or hanging out with a friend or something. Who knows? Cannonball like button. Kerry says, I think it's 7 hours from Cairns to Tokyo and 5 hours on the bus to Hakuba. That sounds all right. Yeah, that sounds about right, is what I should say. Yeah, I feel like it was only like 5 or 6 hours on the flight from Brisbane. Well, no, the Gold Coast, which is even further away. So I must be totally wrong. My perception of time is like Kramer's. I've got no idea at any one time where I am or when I am. Kerry says it's at night though, so I didn't notice. Yeah. You kind of either go to sleep or you like put movies on, or those long haul flights. Just nobody enjoys being in that situation and being in that like bubble for such a long period of time, but you just got to do what you can to get through it. Put your earbuds in. What I took my super huge battery for my laptop, and I was just editing footage for most of the time, actually. Yeah. And that's how I pass the time. And actually, Swanee will tell you that that's how I pass most of the time when we're driving too. And actually, big shout out to at Swanee Brews, the legend on here right now, for being. And Elstacker would find this funny because he always says, "That's my driver," and he was talking about me because I drove us around in Niseko, because the accommodation that we stayed at had this van. It's a Toyota Hiace van, or they called it something else, but they call it a Hiace here in Australia. We basically got that. It came with the accommodation, but it's a right-hand drive car, and in Japan they drive on the left-hand side of the road, which is the same as how they drive in Australia. So, and of the Australians that were there, I was the only one that thought ahead and got their international driving permit. So I was allowed to drive while we were there in Japan. So I was the driver that took us from the accommodation to the mountain every day and out to dinner and all that stuff. So so that's why I am his driver, and Swanee has been my driver for the snow trips this year. What else is here? Elstacker, that like button, yeah. And he says it's 9:15 in Ontario. Ontario. He keeps telling me that, or Elstacker keeps telling me and everyone that we say things weird in Australia. I guess comparatively we do. I've heard him say a couple of times recently that we don't say Elstacker, we say Elstacker, and that's true, Elstacker. Mariba is an hour west of Cairns, says Kerry Pierce. Not sure if I want to go to Niseko. I know you really like Huckabah. Huckabah has more options. Many different parts. Different places. Yeah. I've got absolutely no idea about Huckabah. I remember it seemed like more like wide open from the videos. I'm gonna have to go back and watch all of those Huckabah videos from Kevin and TJ from that trip. So I remember one where they were like sending it off this big like rock cornice thing. But I'm gonna have to look at that. But I think I've on no less than 4 occasions heard Kevin say something along the lines in one of his live streams about wanting to go somewhere new in Japan, somewhere they haven't been before. And I can understand that from his point of view because even though like they've been in Niseko now, I think twice, they know it's good. Like I don't think they want to miss the opportunity to explore other places because especially nowadays when, we had this pandemic happen, which meant that no one's been able to travel, which was funny because my international snowboard like traveling bug had just been like set. I just gone nuts after that Japan trip. I like had all these other things. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna have to like work really hard and save so much money so that I can like go so I can go to North America, so that I can go to a tiny little hill that has 2 T-bars on it in Sweden, so that I can go to the French Alps, so that I can go to Canada, Whistler, so I can go to this what is claimed a small mountain in a little town that's within a state that has a lot of potatoes in it. So I can go to the indoor snowboarding place over in New Jersey. So I can go to New Zealand. So I can go to South America. There's all these places that I just want to go. And at the moment, we can't do any of that. But in any case, yeah, Swanee says it's Elstack. It's not Elstacker, or it's Elstacker. And Swanee says he's happy to go to Huckabah or Niseko. What I'm saying is that it's probably not going to be either of those places. Yeah. All right, that's the end of the comments. And we've got, I reckon, I'll kick on here for a little bit longer. Has anyone got any questions? Has anyone got, I know where most of the people are watching from. What's it like? What are you guys up to today? I know Adam is probably editing a hackers golfing video, maybe. And it's like, I guess it's a Sunday in lockdown here in Australia for most of us. Oh snap! The man himself has arrived. It's Jose Bautista. Man, I've spoken about you a couple of times on this live stream. Thank you for joining my first live stream, by the way. That's really cool because we met on a YouTube live stream, one of Jose's. So yes, I would love to come to New York, but you're not like, are you even in New York right now? Aren't you like somewhere else? You're like, I feel like somewhere in the middle of America. I don't know. Swanee says, hi, Jose. Jose says, what's up, lol? Jose's the man. I miss him. He's in Mississippi. Yeah. You have said that. So, no, Jose, man, I miss you so much. You're looking jacked, by the way. You've been going to the gym, or is that just a set-up photo that you've been putting up on your story to tell people that you are going to the gym? Yeah. So what's your thoughts, Jose? We're talking about the next iteration of the Japan trip, and he says, I miss you too, bro. It's a set-up photo. And for sure, I knew it had to be. You know. Yeah, we've just been talking about the next time we might be able to go to Japan, and I think it's with the travel restrictions and vaccination rates and everything that's going on. There was some dude who's in Portland who was actually the first person on this live stream. I've never seen them before, but they said that apparently over there it's going into lockdown. What's it like in Mississippi? Because Elliot was saying yesterday on his live stream that there's like no restrictions in Boise at all, that no one really cares about COVID. But I think it depends on how quickly vaccinations happen in countries and all that. But I think that in January, there's no way we're going to be able to travel to Japan. I think we're talking about 2023. About 5 meters away. Are you 5 meters away? You could come in and like have a wave if you wanted to. But in any case, we'll see what happens. But Jose says down here it's the wild, wild west. Even though it's yeah, that's probably consistent with what I've heard from. Even though I'm drawing a really broad brushstroke here, that in general, like the United States response has been fairly casual to it, but I don't know. There's over here, if there's even a breath that there might be some community transmission, like we're in lockdown within hours. So that's what happened to us. We were going to go to Perisher, and then the next thing you know, we're in lockdown. Oh, there he is there. That's Swanee Bruce.
Hi, everyone.
He's saying hello, and now he's walking away.
Your last stream, mate.
Thank you for the cameo appearance from Swanee there. Many more cameo appearances in Chuck's videos that are coming up soon. I'll talk about that before I finish the live stream. But yeah, Kerry's saying that she hasn't been to all the resorts in Huckabee yet. Then there's places like Madareo, 15 meters of snow. Oh, I was going to say 15 meters of snow is a lot of snow, but across the season, yeah, that makes sense. That's a lot still. Yeah, 2023 Niseko. Well, that's what we're talking about. Do we go? I know Kerry's keen to go back to Huckabee. I'd like to go there eventually, but I don't think I'm finished with Niseko. There's some things that I wanted to do over there, and places that I wanted to go. That I didn't do, and I wanted to do a little bit more side country, and we never actually like did the hike to the summit. So I'm really keen to go back and do that. But there's another part of Japan I'd like to visit as well, and so I know that one of the guys who works at like my snowboard shop, ESS Board Store, down in Jindabyne, he also runs a shop in Myoko, and I feel like that is a place I'd like to go as well. But we'll see. But I'm down to go back to Niseko. But if like we hear word that the YouTubers are going like to another place, then we might go there. We'll see. All right. What have we got going on the chat? Jose says, although I like short hair, Chuck, to be honest. I'm getting a bit wild at the moment. Like I've got like it's growing out. I haven't had a haircut in a long time. Like this is from, I think I've maybe had like one or two, like one actual haircut and maybe a trim since the last time you saw me in person, Jose. The beard has come and gone. In fact, the beard is getting really lush at the moment, and to be honest, it's just getting in the way of everything. Like when I'm at work, I've got to wear a face mask, and like it doesn't like fit. It's the beard is bustling, and the mask can't like contain it. So that's a problem. I'm thinking of like just getting rid of the beard altogether. But I think the hair is gonna stay for a while. Oh my god. Adam Sells says, wow, live Swanee. Yeah, that's a very rare sighting. You don't see that very often at all. But he does make the occasional cameo, and he's got some really good moments coming up in some of Chuck's videos. Jose Bautista, you really want to eat that lava ramen again? No, I don't. That hurt. Like, you've got no idea. I was like playing it down when we were in Japan. First night, like if you watch my video where we just got to Japan and where Jose and El Stacker and we all have like shots of this. That was the nicest hazelnut liqueur, by the way, or hazelnut whiskey. I don't know what it was, but it was really, really nice. And then we all went out and we went to the place where, if you've seen like TJ's video and David Jones' video where Bo ate like the ridiculously hot ramen, like we were there like 3 or 4 nights in the same place, and ate, and I ate the ramen that was actually one level down from the one that Bo ate, and it caused physical pain for days, is all I'm going to say. It was very unpleasant. So no, I'm not going to do that again. But I am all about going back to that same place and making someone else do that. Absolutely. I'll have a couple of mouthfuls like El Stacker did and nearly died. Did you even go out the gates after the pizza box? Oh, shots fired. Yes, I did, actually. And there's proof. That may well be the next video of the Japan trip. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's not edited yet, so. But yes, I did go out the gate past the pizza box. I was with you before I immediately got lost and separated from the whole group, which was probably one of the most humbling moments of my life, to be honest, when when I totally got stuck, and TJ was above me and he's like, Hey Chuck, just keep going round to the left and dropping down. You'll find a cat track. You'll be fine. And then they all just left me. Stay away from the God Ramen, says Swanee. That is really solid and sound advice. I agree with it. There's the Devil Ramen, and I think that's like the top level. The one I had was the God level, which was like one level down. Still ridiculously hot. Jose says you got the ginger Jesus look going. That's you don't know how I'm gonna not be able to live that call down. But yeah, it's probably a solid call actually. Swanee Brews, haha, the ginger Jesus, or the Australian Andreas. I've been getting that a lot lately actually. The Aussie Andreas. Different glasses though. Swanee loves how he's become a comic character on my channel. Yeah, he's made a few. Almost every appearance has been a comical type of appearance. Jose said it's not that he doesn't believe me; he just doesn't remember because you were sending it like way in front. You were with what was that guy that was like showing them all the spots? There was another Aussie guy. Hamish, I think his name was. Yeah, you were with him, I think, and his girlfriend. Definitely got to come to New York and New Jersey. I agree. Yeah, man. I want to. Actually, you know, Jose, they're building something very similar to the American Dream, to the Big Snow. They're building it in Sydney. It's still like 2 or 3 years away from opening, but they're building something, so we will be able to snowboard year round in Australia soon. And where they're building it is about 3 hours drive from my house. So which is close enough, relatively close enough. So I'm pretty stoked on that. So when eventually you do get to visit here, but when you visit here, we won't be going to the indoor place. We'll be going to Perisher, I'd say. But yes, I hope so, bro. I hope that you've got us over there. I'm keen to crash on the couch. You know all about the couch, and I'm going to be all about the couch. Yeah. Jose says come in the winter. We definitely will. Yeah. So I reckon ideal plans would be let's see, go to so have like maybe 2023 January, like late January, early February in Japan, wherever we go, whether it be Niseko or somewhere else. Then I don't know if we'll go straight to somewhere else. I think we might have to like go back to Australia for a little bit, then head to North America. So probably that's getting towards springtime, I reckon. So probably late February, early March. I don't know if that's going to be too late in the season though. So will we be able to go to like Mount Snow or like some of those places then, or is it too late? So I'm thinking, yeah. Although if it's going to be mid-February, we might as well just go from Japan. That depends on finances, to be totally honest, at the time. But I guess we've got like over a year and a half to save, so that could be potential. So what's Jose saying? Come to New York, then we can fly out west. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. So what are you thinking? Like Colorado, or are we going to go to Boise? Because you know what, I really think so. The what we have seen from Boise and from what's it called, Bogus Basin, on El Stacker's videos is nothing compared to how sick that place looks on if you've seen Casey Willax's video when him and Daly and I think TCAP and that went to Bogus Basin, that place looks epic. And when I've seen the trail map, I've gone, oh my God, this place looks so much bigger than what El Stacker videos is making it look. And we need to get on the backside of that mountain because it looks like the runs are gnarly. I've looked at the trail map. It looks pretty good. Yeah, Swanee's saying it's 300 meters. If you're talking about the new snow center that's being built in Sydney, well, not really in Sydney technically. It's probably closer to the Blue Mountains, but technically it is Sydney. So, it's in Penrith where they're building it, which is really, really far west of Sydney. But still technically in the greater Sydney area. Yeah, it's good in Vermont. Yeah, I really, just being the Casey Willax fan that I am, I don't think I could go to the East Coast and not go to Mount Snow. I don't know. That, and I'll probably have an Epic Australia pass, which I'm sure I'll be able to use over there. So if we're going, then I'd say Vail Resorts is going to be as much as people that's triggered by Vail Resorts sometimes. So yeah, it's good in Vermont. We can go to the West Coast. Jose says we can go to Boise. Yeah, Colorado is only like 5 hours away. Go to Jackson Hole. It's like 3 hours. Oregon's like 7. So if we go to Boise, like everything's kind of close-ish. I mean, you're talking about 5 hour drive, 3 hour drive, 7 hour drive. It's about a 7 hour drive from my house to Jindabyne. And we do that mellow, that's just what we do, to go snowboarding here anyway. So, yeah, we can do a bunch of trips. That'll be interesting. I feel like there's a trip that could be planned here that we may do offline, not on the live stream, but I feel like this is something that could grow legs, 100%. And we need to get it going. We can go to Mount Snow. It's like 4 hours. Right? It's not too bad. Yeah. Is that like 4 hours from New Jersey? Or because Jersey is it's like an hour drive, isn't it, to get to New York, or like 40 minutes to get to like the city? I don't know. I've only flown over it. I've never actually been there. Yeah, 4 hours tops. Yeah. Depending on weather, I guess, too. But, I reckon we've got something we can plan here, which is really good. 25 minutes to the city? Bullshit. I didn't think it was that close. Okay, cool. All right, I'm down. We need to do something. That's for sure. And 2023 might be the year. All right, so he's revising it. 35 minutes now. Yeah. You're a funny man, Jose Bautista, and I miss you a lot. We'll hopefully we get to catch up over a beer and a shot and a few turns some point soon. And hopefully you've bought some new. Have you bought any new gear? I suppose you haven't been at home, but I know you love your Gilson and your Crew Shapes. I wonder if you've bought anything else. We'll see. All right, I've been live now for approximately almost an hour and 10 minutes, which is, I'm going to be totally honest, way longer than what I expected to be live. And I've had, at the moment, I've got 3 people watching. We've had 5 likes. I'd like to thank everyone that's been on here: Swanee Brews, Jose Bautista, Kerry Pierce, Adam Searles, all legends, and Joseph Erickson for kicking off the live stream. I'll punch through these last couple comments. Jose says that he definitely has to brush up on his snowboarding. I feel like you're playing that down, but I guess you haven't been snowboarding for a while, maybe. I suppose no one over there. Oh, didn't you go to the American Dream recently? In fact, I've been speaking a lot with a fellow guy on YouTube. What's his name? Got his card up here. Bored Through the Pain. I believe you guys like hooked up and met at the American Dream at one point. I've been talking to him a bunch, and he actually sent me some of his Bored Through the Pain like merch and gear. Of which I've lost some of it already. I don't know how, but like I've got like he's got that Booby Wax company, and he sent me like a bunch of like face masks, stickers, like a whole bunch of stuff. I'd like to meet up with him at some point too. But anyway, he hasn't. So Jose says he hasn't got any new gear. Only thing was his new battalion Goliath. You need to tell me. I have been looking at that board it's been winking at me with fond eyes. Have you ridden that thing? You need to tell me if what you think of it, because I've been wanting. I think the next board I'm going to buy is a battalion, and I don't know which model I want. I'm thinking I want a directional twin, and the Goliath looks like the one. I've been messaging TJ about it. I think that's the one that I want, but let me know. Okay, yeah, he says it's amazing. Def get it. Yep, he's saying that he met with the Booby Wax guy, and Swanee says go live more often. Okay. Yeah, so I think I really enjoyed this, and I probably will do it again. I don't know when. I don't know if it's going to be a weekly thing, but I reckon I'm claiming I reckon I'll do at least one a month. Probably more frequently than that, depending on what happens, because I thought this was really awesome, and I got a bit of value out of it. Hope you guys enjoyed hanging out. Those of us that are in lockdown as well. Jose says he lives 3 hours away. Yeah, no, that sounds. I think he lives in Pennsylvania somewhere, which isn't far from New York, I don't think. Oh yeah, no worries. Yep, good on you, Jose, for sure. Well, anyway, it's really, from what I see online, really awkward ending these things, but thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Kerry. I believe that this was fun too. I appreciate you all joining, and I guess I'll see you guys later at another time, and I'll close this off by saying that I am working on more videos, and I've said that a lot in live streams and stuff, but I have from our last trip to Perisher, one video already edited and one that's started, so it's going to be a series that's that will drop. I reckon it's going to have maybe 3 or 4 vlogs in it, so that'll be coming up sometime in the next, I'm going to say, couple of weeks, but you'll probably see something before a couple of weeks. All right. Cheers, boys, girls, and Cameron McElvenna. Sit down now.